It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos, next on Madden Football.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
And off we go from Denver. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn this status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap, and the second he sees an opening, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip up, he's liable to burn you.
First carry for Austin Eckler, who's a Colorado native. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Herbert on third down now. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Got an open man, it's Josh Palmer. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Option play, and they'll give to Eckler. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
And a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback at 6'2" out of Auburn. It's Jarrett Stidham.
For a brief time, he was thought to be a possible successor to Tom Brady while he was still in New England, but that didn't materialize. But opportunity may still knock for him to start in the NFL today. Definitely has the arm and mobility to make plays against NFL defenses. All he needs now is consistency.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice
Nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Again, it's Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Play action. It's Stidham. To the sideline and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. That's taken in by Palmer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. Touchdown! Keenan Allen, 42 yards. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was Keenan Allen who finished it all off with the touchdown reception. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Stidham. This will be caught. Judy. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. A huge play there for Denver. 45 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Stidham. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 6. Stidham now off the bootleg. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Stidham to throw. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. A 15-yard touchdown ground. And the Broncos are back within a score.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Chargers. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Herbert off of play action. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Herbert running left off the option. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, with a dime left on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 13-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Broncos 7.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
They'll throw on 1st down with Stidham. Screen play set up for Williams. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A good 1st down call as the screen play gets him 9.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Out quickly to Judy. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did.
Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second down and 6 now. From midfield now, here's Stidham. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 36. And it appears we have a Charger shaken up on that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So from the 36 now, first and 10. Now it's Stidham. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, Williams. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
But they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Stidham. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And they'll run the end around here with Judy. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It was Joey Bosa working his way in to bust that one up. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
On first down, Stidham. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Greg Dulcich, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have got it back to within a score.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Eckler.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That is caught. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Jarrett Stidham ready to pilot this offense again.
Last drive, surgeon-like, dare I say, 7 for 7. That'll help your QB rating.
It will indeed, won't it? Can you figure out QB rating?
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. On 2nd down, here's Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Joey Bosa, so strong, able to fight his way in there to make the play. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Here's Stidham. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Davis now to return it. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw around. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Herbert on 1st down now. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. After the interception, here's Stidham. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Austin Eckler who was the star of that first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as he'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Stidham's throw taken in by Sutton. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Off the option, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And they'll send Judy in motion left. And they'll fake the jet sweep, but instead give up the middle to Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass. You don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They run it again with Williams. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A little short pass. This is Everett, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
This is a counter play. Eckler. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 78 yards on the ground for Eckler here. That's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Herbert off of play action. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Escapes the sack. That's again complete to Palmer. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Josh Palmer, 33 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
26-yard line.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Stidham. That is incomplete.
Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Stidham. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Michael Davis. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
2nd and 10 now, 3rd quarter action in Denver. Here's Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Stidham from the shotgun. That one too wide and incomplete. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. Gets around him. And that's going to be good for the Chargers' first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. Look at the big fella go. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Donald Parham taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They begin the drive with Williams. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
At the 21-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Stidham. On the slant, completes to Sutton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4.
That's the end of the third
3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Stidham. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Broncos 1st down. They needed 4, they got 8, and it results in a conversion on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
On 1st and 10, it's Stidham.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Throwing again here, Stidham. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
3rd and 2, now Stidham.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he is going to have a Broncos 1st down. They needed 3, they got 6. Plenty enough for the conversion on 4th.
Surprised at all that they went with a fullback there?
Not at all, because it harkened back to the days where we watched these games almost in black and white, right? The stocky guy, the strong guy, the powerful guy with leg drive, give him the football, and even if the blocking isn't perfect, he has the ability to scatter bodies and move people enough to pick up 1st downs. That's what we just saw right there. It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
2nd and 10 now, Stidham. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Stidham. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
A 51-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
2nd and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Able to slither by, and he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 115 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Eckler now between the tackles. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Once more, here's Eckler. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Herbert's throw pulled in there by Johnston. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Up the middle with Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A give, Eckler running to the right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Eckler again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Eckler will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Stidham. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Off the draw, here's Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Here's a 2nd and 5. It's Eckler again. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run from Austin Eckler. And the Chargers up the lead to 4 scores now here in this 4th quarter. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And we get another look now at this Broncos offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
On first down, Stidham. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. Screen play set up for Williams. So able to break through the initial contact and then down right near the 25. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Now it's Stidham. And that is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
A handoff. It's Eckler. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ball game.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.